All right, Eagles fans, let's talk business. The bye week might be here, but the drama never stops in Philly. The team sits at 6 wins and 2 losses, and the vibes around the locker room are electric after those dominant back-to-back wins over Minnesota and New York. You can feel it. This team is clicking, both sides of the ball, finally finding rhythm at the perfect time. Still, every time the trade deadline comes around, one question echoes across the fan base. Should Howie Roseman make a move? It's the same debate every year, and honestly, it's a good problem to have. When your team's sitting near the top of the NFC, fans start wondering what that one extra piece could do. You look at the standings. The Eagles are right there, second seed in the conference, just behind Green Bay. Yeah, the Packers technically have that top spot because of that weird early season tie with Dallas. But make no mistake, Philly is breathing down their necks. Behind them, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Detroit, and the Rams are all in the mix, each team playing solid football, but none of them look as complete or as confident as the Eagles right now. The NFC East picture? Man, it's wild how different things look compared to a couple of years ago. The Cowboys are floating around 3 wins. The Commanders have dropped 3 straight. And the Giants, well, Philly basically shut the door on their season with that beatdown at the Link. Unless something completely collapses, it's looking like the Eagles could be the first team since 2004 to win the division in consecutive years. Think about that. 2 decades since someone pulled it off. That's the kind of dominance this squad is showing. And yet, even with all the success, Howie Roseman's not the type to sit back and get comfortable. He's one of the sharpest executives in the league, and he's already running through scenarios, figuring out if a move could turn this team from contender to unstoppable. The question isn't whether the Eagles are good enough to win games. It's whether they're built to outlast the NFC heavyweights come January. Because that's what it comes down to: Green Bay, Detroit, Tampa Bay, maybe Los Angeles. You want home field advantage? You better be ready to stack up against those teams and finish the season strong. The defense has been heating up, especially that pass rush. 22 pressures and 5 sacks in the last game alone. That's a statement. The offense looks smoother, too. JALEN Hurts seems to be back in command, making better reads, spreading the ball around, and the line up front, even without Cam Jurgens, has been holding it down. Brett Toth, stepping in at center, absolutely handled Dexter Lawrence. That performance might have shifted some of the teams thinking about their interior line depth. Still, if you're looking at the roster and asking where the Eagles could use help, 3 spots stand out: edge rusher, cornerback, and offensive line depth. Not because those positions are weak, but because great teams stay aggressive. That's always been Philly's identity under Roseman. When there's a window to win, you don't hesitate. You go for it. And it sounds like the front office's mindset hasn't changed one bit. According to reports, the Eagles are expected to be active before the trade deadline. It's not just about patching holes. It's about creating advantages. Getting a veteran piece or a young standout could be the difference between just another playoff run and a Super Bowl push. Plus, there's good news already coming out of the bye week. Nolan Smith, their best edge rusher, is set to return for the matchup with the Packers. Brandon Graham, out of retirement, is suiting up too. That's huge. And cornerback Jacorian Bennett, expected to start opposite Quinion Mitchell, is also back in the mix. That's basically like making a few trades without actually making any. When it comes to trade ammo, the Eagles are absolutely loaded. They've got their own first, second, and third round picks. On top of that, they've got an extra third from the Jets, a compensatory pick from New England for Milton Williams, another fourth for Josh Sweat, and even a fifth that could turn into a fourth depending on Bryce Huff's production. That's serious flexibility. They could trade away a mid-rounder and still have plenty left for the draft. In short, they're sitting in one of the best positions of any contender heading into the deadline. So, who could they actually target? Well, if the focus is on the secondary, and let's be real, every team could use more help at corner. One name that's been buzzing is Alani Taylor from New Orleans. This guy's an athlete. 6 feet tall, around 199 pounds, clocked a 4.36 in the 40-yard dash, and was a second-round pick back in 2022. He's got legit versatility, able to play inside or outside, and the dude just has a nose for the football. His pass breakup numbers keep climbing every year, proving that he's got great instincts and an eye for disrupting routes. From a Saints perspective, it actually makes sense. He's in the final year of his deal, and if they're not planning to extend him, they could flip him for value now instead of losing him for nothing in free agency. For the Eagles, that's an attractive move. Add a young, athletic corner who can fit in immediately, and you're not mortgaging your future to do it. Imagine a deal where Philly gives up one of those extra third-rounders for Taylor. You still keep plenty of draft capital, and you strengthen a unit that could use just a little more depth for the playoff stretch. Another name that's come up is Jaquan McMillan from Denver. Young player, plays primarily in the slot, cheap contract, and still has restricted free agent rights after this season. He's got quickness, solid tackling, and a smart football IQ. Basically, the kind of player you want behind Cooper DeJean to rotate in without losing quality. A proposed trade that's been floating around has Philly sending a third and a late-round pick for McMillan and a seventh. That's a low-risk, high-upside type of move. And then there's one more name I love, Tariq Woolen from Seattle. Remember his rookie year back in 2022? 6 interceptions, tied for the league lead. He's a massive corner, over 6'4", more than 200 pounds, runs like a sprinter. He's fallen out of favor in Seattle, but that's exactly the kind of player you take a swing on if you're Philly. The talent is undeniable, and sometimes a change of scenery is all it takes to get a player back to his peak form. If the Eagles decide to add experience instead of youth, there's one veteran who fits that win-now mold perfectly, Calais Campbell. A seasoned defensive lineman, a leader, and one of the most respected players in the league. He's been dominant for years, multiple All-Pro selections, a member of the All-Decade team, and still producing even now. 3 sacks, 9 quarterback hits, 5 tackles for loss already this year. Bringing him in would feel a lot like those mid-season additions from 2022 when the Eagles signed Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh. Veteran moves that didn't just plug holes, but helped drive that Super Bowl run. That's the kind of thinking this organization thrives on. Not reactive, but proactive. The Eagles aren't desperate. They're disciplined. But they also know that being one move ahead of the competition is how you stay on top. Whether it's a young corner, a rotational pass rusher, or a veteran presence up front, the message is clear. This team isn't settling. They're chasing something bigger. Now, if you take a step back and really look at what Howie Roseman has built, it's hard not to be impressed. This roster is one of the deepest in the league, and yet there's still that constant drive to improve. That's what separates good teams from great ones. The Eagles aren't satisfied with being contenders. They want to be the team everyone else fears when January hits. The kind of team that forces opponents to circle the date on the calendar and say, yeah, that's the one we have to survive. And the way to do that, especially in a season as unpredictable as this one, is to keep adding the right pieces at the right time. When you look at how the NFC is shaping up, there's not much room for error. The Packers are strong, the Lions are surging, Tampa Bay's defense is nasty, and the Rams always find a way to hang around when the postseason comes calling. Every one of those teams could make life difficult in a playoff matchup. That's why the margin between winning the conference and falling short often comes down to something as small as one trade, one depth addition, one late-season spark that shifts momentum. The Eagles have been down this road before. Remember 2022, when they pulled off those mid-season moves that ended up shaping the entire playoff run? That's the template. Howie knows the importance of striking early, getting players who not only fill a need, but elevate the locker room. The vibe in Philadelphia is all about toughness, accountability, and brotherhood. The kind of culture where veterans blend perfectly with hungry young guys. Bringing in the right fit means more than just adding stats. It means reinforcing that identity. Let's be honest, though, this season feels different. There's a maturity about this team that wasn't fully there even during that last Super Bowl run. The offense has evolved. Jalen Hurts looks more composed than ever, spreading the ball between his playmakers, reading defenses faster, using his legs only when necessary. The chemistry with his receivers is back to that elite level, and the offensive line, even with injuries, continues to be the foundation that keeps everything steady. You can see the trust. Hurts doesn't flinch in the pocket, even when the pressure's coming. That's what years of consistency and great coaching produce. Defensively, The transformation has been just as impressive. The pass rush has rediscovered its bite. Opposing quarterbacks are getting uncomfortable again, and that's been the key to getting back to dominant form. When this defense is playing downhill, when that front seven is collapsing pockets, there aren't many offenses in the league that can handle the onslaught. Adding another pass rusher, whether a young spark or a veteran like Calais Campbell, could make this group terrifying. At corner, the potential trades make even more sense. It's not that the current starters aren't holding their own, but in the NFL, 1 or 2 injuries can flip your season upside down. Adding someone like Alani Taylor or Jaquan McMillan isn't about panic. It's about preparation. Taylor's athleticism and instincts fit the system perfectly, and McMillan's contract flexibility gives the front office future control. Either one would bring insurance and energy to a defense already trending upward. And a player like Tariq Woolen? That's a gamble worth taking. Those physical traits don't come around often, and in a defensive scheme like Vic Fangio's, that length and recovery speed could be devastating to opposing offenses. You look around the NFC right now, and it's clear that the path to the Super Bowl runs through teams like Green Bay, Detroit, and Tampa Bay. Each one has its strengths, but none of them have the balance and depth that Philadelphia does. The Lions are explosive offensively, but their defense can still be inconsistent. The Buccaneers are solid and well-coached, but they don't have the same level of talent across the board. And while the Packers have been impressive, they haven't faced the kind of adversity the Eagles have already battled through this season. That's why Howie Roseman's next move is so important. It's not just about making a splash. It's about making the right addition. Whether it's a corner who can solidify the secondary or a veteran defensive lineman who can anchor the rotation, the goal is simple. Make the team as complete as possible before the playoff push begins. Because once the postseason hits, small weaknesses become big problems, and the teams that fix them early are the ones still playing in February. The feeling around this team is that they're right on the edge of something special again. They've got the talent, they've got the leadership, and they've got the hunger to finish the job this time. There's no panic, no desperation, just a steady belief that their best football is still ahead of them. And if that's true, the rest of the NFC better be ready. Because when the Eagles start clicking on all cylinders, there's not a team in the league that can match the energy, the physicality, or the sheer will to win that this group brings every single week. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are spreading through Philadelphia, and it's one of the juiciest rumors to hit the Eagles in recent months. At the center of the storm, Jalen Hurts, the team's star quarterback, whose recent comments have fueled speculation among fans and insiders alike. If he comes, it's because they don't need me here, Hurts reportedly said in a candid moment, sending shockwaves through the locker room chatter and social media alike. The remark, vague yet loaded, has left many scratching their heads. Who exactly is Hurts talking about? Some believe it's a top-tier free agent quarterback rumored to be on the Eagles' radar, a potential superstar whose signing could shake up the team's hierarchy. Hurts' tone, however, suggests more than mere rivalry. It hints at pride, self-awareness, and perhaps even a warning to management. His position as the franchise cornerstone might not be up for negotiation. Inside sources say the locker room is buzzing. Teammates are reportedly split. Some see Hurts' words as confidence, a natural reflection of a leader protecting his turf. Others whisper that there's underlying tension. In a league where quarterback controversy can spark major shifts, any sign of uncertainty can become a headline. And with the NFL offseason in full swing, every passing day fuels speculation. Could a new quarterback actually arrive in Philly, or is this just the kind of media-fueled frenzy that swirls around any elite QB? Social media, of course, has exploded. Fans are dissecting every word, every tone, and every gesture. Memes abound. Pundits weigh in on ESPN and Twitter, debating whether Hurts is genuinely threatened or simply playing mind games. One thing is certain. In Philadelphia, loyalty to the starting QB is sacred, and Hurts' statement has only intensified the emotional stakes. For now, The Eagles' front office remains tight-lipped, refusing to confirm or deny rumors, while insiders hint at ongoing discussions behind closed doors. Hurts, meanwhile, seems to be sending a clear message. If someone comes to town to take his spot, it won't be because he's being replaced. It'll be because the team has chosen a different direction. Whether this is a prelude to a blockbuster signing or just the kind of locker room chatter that fuels tabloids, the rumor mill is in overdrive. Philadelphia fans, ever passionate and fiercely loyal, are watching closely, knowing one thing for sure. When Hurts speaks, it's never just small talk. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.